Its jagged coastline is extremely varied, and as the tides change, it offers a surprising series of gently sloping beaches and rugged rock formations.
The Miel Beach at Saint-Cas is one of the largest beaches on the entire Emerald Coast, as it's known here. At the bottom of a cove cut into the soft schist, this fine sand beach stretches for almost 2 kilometers. Saint-Cas is a peninsula with 7 different beaches. Nearby, the harmonious Armorican coastline displays its rock formations, capes, islands, inlets, and strands.
In the 6th century, a monk called Lunaire and his companions fled Wales when it was invaded by barbarians. They tried to land on the Armorican coast, but as they approached the shore, thick fog arose, preventing them from anchoring. Saint Lunaire drew his sword and assailed the blinding element. Ever since, whenever fishermen are lost in fog or darkness, they call on the saint to wield his great blade.
These coasts are home to a multitude of mollusks and shellfish, easy fishing for beachcombers when the tides are low. They too are part of the Brittany landscape, like the flocks and flocks of birds that compete with them for this pittance.
Large colonies of aquatic birds have taken up residence on this sheer pink sandstone wall. The 70-meter-high cliffs of Cap Frehel thrust out like the points of a trident into the sea. The Cape has been classified as a nature reserve because of its remarkable plant and animal life.
The Brittany coastline is sprinkled with dozens of islands and islets. This one is not far from the continent, but it attracts crowds unlike any other. This is a land of pirates, a paradise for artists, and above all, a world of beauty. The climate on Brea Island is almost as mild as that on the Mediterranean, and the vegetation here is luxuriant. Beautiful palms, mimosas, eucalyptus, and fig trees shade these rocky landscapes, giving them a particularly poetic charm.
Brea is a world unto itself, where cars and other motorized vehicles are prohibited. Here one rediscovers what silence means. One can take the time to admire the sights and sounds of nature. It's only 3.5 kilometers from Port Clos, where one sails into the island, and the Pont Lighthouse at its northern tip. Yet, the landscapes in the north are incredibly different. Here, the coastline is barren and rugged.
The difference between the northern and southern shores of Brea Island is as great as that between the northern and southern shores of Brittany.
This little river flows only a few kilometers to its mouth on the Atlantic. It played an important economic role in antiquity when clay was gathered along its banks. Today, the Ode River is known above all for its beauty. It snakes quietly across the island, then flows into an estuary. This sheltered harbor is home port to many fishing boats and yachts.
The Ode flows peacefully into the Atlantic at the little sea resort of Benode.
The French poet Guillaume Apollinaire came here in August 1917 to recover from a war injury. He wrote these lines to one of his friends.
Bénodet reminds one of the Côte d'Azur, with its climate, fig trees and clear skies.